All right, welcome to Press Pass Live, your weekly OMFL podcast show. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We have some exciting things to cover. The season, season 79? I lose track. I can't even remember what season we are. It's been one of those types of weeks this week in real life. I don't even know what season we're in, but man, we're right in the midst of it. Games are getting in really quickly, and before we know it, we're going to be into season 6 of this Madden. So a lot of fun things are coming. Got a lot to cover, but before we get there, as always, let me welcome in the champ. I have nicknamed him the champ. D. Wayne, welcome to the show. How you doing on a Saturday morning, buddy?
It is a beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning. No place I'd rather be than here doing the PPL this morning.
My buddy is about to take off and go do some wine testing and wooing of the lady. So he's got a big day planned. We're going to go ahead and knock this out, have some fun this morning, let him get on his way and go sip on some wine. So let's catch everybody up to where we are real quick. Let's cover week 7, 8, and 9. We just advanced just a few minutes ago to week 10. So we got a little bit of stuff that we can cover here. The New York Giants and the Panthers play to a 31-31 tie. The Giants owner has been MIA for a month. He was moving across the country. He just needed time to get his life settled, get moved, get internet, new job, all that fun stuff. But I did see that his Twitch went live this morning. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, Mr. Witness, if you're alive, answer my PM. Okay, let's find out if he's around. The Bears fall to the Packers 24-44. The Broncos fall to the Raiders 27-24 in a really tight game there. And we're going to talk about those Raiders a little later on. The Seahawks with a 31-3 victory over the Eagles. The Eagles owner is a brand new guy, but he has missed a lot of games. And going to be honest with you guys, we need active owners. And so if he misses another game, we're going to have to move on and part ways. We need active people. We're still looking for a Bears owner, so we might have a couple open teams. If you know some good folks, they're still plugged in, you need to send them our way. The Browns with a 24-20 victory over the Jaguars. I think that might have been a CPU game. I think Brady went on vacation, but I hope that he's back by now. The Cowboys, who've been on a little bit of a run lately with a 33-27 victory over the Redskins. The Ravens with a 26-14 victory over the Titans. The Bengals flexing those muscles against the Steelers, 40-22. The Chiefs with a nice 31-24 victory over the Bills. The Bills unfortunately got in an accident this week, and I let my game be a sim against him. He got in a physical car wreck, and I just didn't feel like it was right to play the CPU, so I went ahead and let it be a straight-up sim. I hope that he's doing okay, though. B-Hog, we're thinking about you, praying for you, man. Get back on your feet and just let us know what we can do to help. The Colts, excuse me, with a 23-18 victory over the Texans, and those Texans are struggling to find their way this year. The Dolphins with a 23-21 victory over the Jets. The Falcons with a 26-12 victory over the Buccaneers. The Patriots 21, the Chargers nothing, and then the Rams totally manhandled my Cardinals 42-21. Let's look at week 8 and 9 really fast here. The Raiders 26, the Bills 7, the Patriots 28, the Broncos 7. The Cowboys with a 24-17 victory over the Cardinals. The Seahawks with a 53-13 victory over the Giants. Mo, you know I love you. I also know that you listen to these. You're one of my favorite guys here. You got to hit the brakes. You got to put in third stringers. You got to run the ball. You got to figure out a way to hit the brakes, my man. We've had like 4 games from you this year that just way, way, way too many points. So we got to figure that out with you together. We're a team here, all right? Colts 26, the Steelers 13. The Bengals, oh my God, 63-42. Would somebody please play defense in this game? The Buccaneers 34-17 over the Chargers. The Jaguars with a 24-20 victory over the Bears. The Packers with a 45-24 victory over the Lions. The Panthers with a 16-3 victory over the Vikings. The Rams 42, the 49ers 28. The Ravens with a 28-23 victory over the Browns. Those Browns play some really good defense, man. They just seem to be a few plays sharp. And then the Saints with a nice 30-17 victory over Ducks and his new Chiefs. And then the last week that we want to cover, week 9, the one we just advanced from, the Falcons 28, the Bears 3. Now there is a CPU score that I'm comfortable with. The Seahawks with a 29-24 victory over the Buccaneers. The Bengals with a 27-16 victory over the Colts. A big loss for the Colts there. The Patriots 42, the Jets 35. And those Jets are hanging tough with everybody. But again, a lot like the Saints, just seem to be a few plays short. The Saints with a big victory over the Lions 16-6. They make you play ugly football down in New Orleans. The Titans 37, the Packers 16. The Texans fall to the Jaguars 33-22. The 49ers with a nice victory 27-13 over the Vikings. This hasn't been the year that the 49ers were hoping for. The Ravens 41, the Dolphins 23. The Redskins 31, the Giants 10. The Cardinals, was that 0-0? Oh, that game didn't register. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, thank you, Madden app. You didn't update these last three games. These three games, my game was a sim against the Bills. The Cowboys and Eagles, I think, was a CPU game that the Cowboys played. And then I think the Panthers and Broncos were a sim. So that catches you up with week 7, 8, 9 here in the OMFL. Let's hop on in here. I don't have a lot of time with you, but hey, maybe I can get you to teach a class to Mo. Maybe you're the one who needs to go help Mo learn how to hit those brakes on the CPU. But let's talk about another team, another buddy of ours, the Indianapolis Colts. Excuse me. My voice is trying to kill itself this morning. Let's talk about Colin and his Colts. Are you buying or selling the Indianapolis Colts, who are 6-3, as a contender?
I buy him as a contender, honestly. I think he did slip up this last week and lost a good game that would have been a real big win for him. But I buy him as a contender, especially his division. I think I'm not going to say he's got his division wrapped up, but I do think that he's going to win his division. And I think with his defense, which I like to call it as a bend, don't break defense, because he does give up quite a few yards. But when he scores many points and play the kind of offense he does, because he is a quick strike offense, you're going to give up a lot of yards. But he's middle of the pack, 13th in the league, giving up 22 points a game. I just think his defense just does enough to keep him in the game, but that offense is so scary. He can score so fast, and I buy Colin. He's got a mean team in Indianapolis.
Let's take a quick pause. I see that Lexington's on the line. Chaotic is in here. Is that Houday?
Yeah, it's me, man. What's going on?
Oh my God, Pete! Let's just pause and let's give it up for Houday. Welcome to the show, man.
I made it, man. Dogs and all, ready to go.
Man, we are glad that you're here. Well, I am glad you're here. Now I don't have to talk as much, and I can just moderate. Our buddy Chaotic, he's muted. He said he's on mama duty right now, taking care of the baby, so we'll let him stay muted. But I'm going to throw you right in the fire. Are you buying or selling the Indianapolis Colts as a contender, Houday?
If you would have asked me last week, I would have went pretender, but I just played him. I don't know what he's got in the water out there, but I got his A game. He got up early on me, stayed up most of the game. I really got lucky. My QB, I'd thrown 5 interceptions all year. I threw like 5 interceptions against him. So he's a contender. Now, I don't, going into the playoff stretch, if I end up in that first round, I don't want to play the Colts. I think he's a real deal this year, and he's definitely making the playoffs.
Yeah, I've got to say I love his offense, and I am worried about that defense. I think you got to be a little bit better than that if you're going to be a real contender. You might sneak off into the playoffs and, get a wild card game with that type of defense. But if you can get that defense up around 15-12, somewhere in that range, he doesn't have to be a top 5 defense, but I think he needs to be 16 and above for sure if he's going to be a real contender. I will say this, though. The schedule sets up for him to make a nice run. He's got the Jets, the Packers, the Titans, the Bears. Those are all winnable games, or at least games that he has an opportunity to win. Then he's got a tough one against the Raiders, the Jaguars, and the Texans to finish out, but the Jaguars and Texans are not having the season that they thought that they would. So I got to say, I'm going to go pretender for now, but he has an opportunity here to turn that around, improve that defense, and make things a little bit better. Let's talk about 2 other teams, And giving Mo a little bit of a harder time, but Mo does know that we absolutely love him. He's one of our favorite guys here. But Mo and his Seattle Seahawks are undefeated. They're sitting here at 8-0. If you look right across the street there, the Atlanta Falcons are sitting at 8-0 also. So I'm going to start with Huday. Who do you think loses first, the Atlanta Falcons or the Seattle Seahawks?
Well, I mean, they're both playing great football, just like always. I think they both had a couple breaks go their way a little bit. I think they're both going to keep winning. I'm looking at the schedule, just seeing, when teams at towards the end of the season, they're not in the playoff race. There's always that, we don't have any big tankers, but there's, do you get somebody's A game? And I think they keep winning all the way until week 13, and the Seahawks are going to run into a relatively new guy, quiet guy in the Buffalo Bills. Is playing really, really good football this year. And I played Mo. I know his style. Yeah, that's a good matchup. The Bills, they play some really good defense. You're going to see some usering out of the safety, the outside linebackers. He's fast. He's got all those superstars from the draft. I think that's when that first loss comes in, is week 13, Seahawks and Buffalo.
D-Wayne, I'm setting you up a little bit, all right? So don't play this Mr. Humble crap that you do all the time. You got to talk about your team a little bit here. Who do you think's going to lose first between you and the Seattle Seahawks?
Well, this is not to talk about either one of our teams in general. I think, man, Mo has got a tough schedule on the way out. I think every team he plays is a playoff team, and I could be wrong right offhand. I think he don't play a single team below 500. The 49ers, but we know the 49ers are not a below 500 team. He's got a tough schedule. You got the Rams, 49ers, Cardinals, Bills, Rams again, the next 5 games. But you can't ever count Mo out either. Mo's offense is crazy, and his defense is really underappreciated this year. It's tough. It's tough. I got the Eagles owner this week. If he plays, and when he has been here to play, he's been a very good player. So that's really up in the air this week. If I play CPU, like I said, the CPU is not near as much of a threat as that Eagles owner is. But I do have a tough game against Maniac next week, and it's going to be tough. I'm with him. It's going to be up in the air. I got week 16. I got the Chiefs. I got the Saints, who are on a 2-game winning streak coming up pretty soon. It's tough to call who's going to lose a game first. But if I had to go, I would say Mo's going to lose the game first, just for the fact that he has a tough game, a playoff game for the next 8 weeks. And that's just tough to go unscathed.
I got to say, this is why we love D-Wayne. He's just so sweet and like Southern gentleman, but I'm going to start calling him Jingle Bells. He jingles so many balls whenever we talk about people. I look at both of these schedules. Here's what the Seahawks have against them. They play the Rams twice. They play the San Francisco 49ers. Those are 2 tough games. I don't care what San Francisco's record is. That is a playoff team that won this division last season. That is a really, really good team. Then you look at the Atlanta Falcons. Here's the one game that no one spoke about, and that's week 12 against the Oakland Raiders, who are sitting at 6-2. They're playing much better football this year. And late in the season, I think it's week 16 or 17, you got the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I know that Ducks doesn't have that team set up for his style just yet, but I think by the time you get that late in the season, he's going to have that team a little bit more figured out. He's going to figure out a way to win. I have to go with the Atlanta Falcons to lose first. I think that week 12 matchup is pivotal, but it wouldn't shock me if Seattle loses. But I think both of these teams will not finish the season undefeated. There's just too many speed bumps. You got to play too good of a football for too long for that to last. So both of these teams will lose a game before they roll into the playoffs, but I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons. Let's talk about rookies for a second. This was an interesting rookie draft. Now, we're not really seeing like a ton of top superstars. So there's not the superstar quarterback like we've seen in years past, but this was a very, very good draft. So I'm going to toss this out to both of you. Let's start with D. Wayne. Who is your number one rookie to watch for who's the guy that has caught your eye that you feel like is the top-rated rookie from this past draft?
Well, I guess you say our rookie of the year headliner is out of competition right now. I think he got hurt and he's out for 4 weeks. If I'm not mistaken. I think that's going to be a big blow to his chances at being the top rookie this year. But I've had another rookie sneak up on me, and it's the Baltimore quarterback, JT Feed or Fed. I'm really not sure how to pronounce that.
Go with Feed. It sounds good.
Feed. 2,000 yards through, I want to say 9 games so far. Yeah, 9 games. And surprisingly, and going through a lot of the rookie quarterbacks, you see an interception problem. And he only has 7 interceptions through 9 games. Nice. And for a rookie, that's real good. And compared to the other rookies, who I think almost all of them were double-digit interception throwers, he's 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 67% passing, which is real good. Right now, he's my headliner. He really sticks out, and especially with Bethel being hurt for 4 weeks, even though Mo is known to throw 300 yards rushing in a 1 week. I just don't think he can recover from being hurt for 4 weeks.
Huday, who's your number one rookie that kind of sticks out, bud?
Well, exactly what he said. The running back in Seattle, Frank Bethel, he's having a monster season, and he's hurt. 4 weeks in Madden, that's slim to none. I mean, he's got guys nipping his heels. Deion Spurlock out of Detroit, but really with the record is what sets it apart for me with the quarterback out of Baltimore. He hasn't lost a game yet. He's undefeated. He's got a decent, touchdown to interception ratio. He's got a 98 quarterback rating, 2,000 yards. I think he's the guy to beat. And it's really not that close. I mean, the guy at Denver, he's like 200 yards behind him, but he hasn't had near the season. I don't think Denver might have won 1 or 2 games. I think JT in Baltimore is the guy to beat.
Yeah, I do want to add to what you guys have already said because you've said it really well. Frank Bethel, though, has to be on the field, and if you can't play, then you're not useful. And so even though he was having such a monster season, man, it's going to be tough to bounce back from that. Here's a guy, though, that I'm going to throw out there that's really caught my eye, and that's Delton Jeffers out of Washington. He's already got 5 interceptions on the year, and for a rookie, that's really, really impressive. I mean, rookies, people in general don't get a lot of interceptions, and for this rookie to step into this league already and have 5, he is my dark horse. Now, look, it's going to be tough. He'd have to be up around 10 to 12. And even then, it's hard to get Huday's attention. Patrick Peterson with 12 interceptions didn't even make the list a couple of seasons ago. But Delton Jeffers should be very proud of 5 interceptions this early in the season. That's really, really good for a rookie. So that catches us up to where we are here in the OMFL. Let's get in transition to our Outside the League segment. We got about 5 or 6 minutes here. The new teaser, trailer, whatever you kind of want to see it as. I kind of see it as a teaser more than a trailer for Madden 18 has dropped. And man, what a time for it to drop. Last night we had our CFM roundtable where I am hosting several CFM commissioners and leaders in the community on a Daddy Leagues video blog, podcast, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to try to do a series of those. So we had 4 guys on last night, including myself, and had really good conversations about this. But I wanted to present this to both of you. Did you see it? What'd you think about it? What caught your eye? What intrigued you? What were your thoughts about the trailer? Huday?
Man, it had been out probably a good 30 seconds, and I seen it. I was.
And I think you texted to me right away.
I did, man. I'm excited. Soccer's not my favorite thing. I played soccer, but I don't know a lot about soccer, and I really got into FIFA. The story mode's cool.
You did get into FIFA. You've been avoiding us for a couple of weeks.
I have. But I think that's going to be something. We're a 72-hour league. 3 days to play your games. It's a good time frame for everybody. Seems to work good. But those guys, and there are a bunch of us. Probably more than half the league. We play our games right off the get-go. We advance. We're playing. I think that story mode's going to get, especially me, something to do in between. It's not going to be like, oh man, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to play for 20 hours straight or anything. But I think it's a good change of pace. I'm excited about that. I thought the graphics looked good. I'm super excited about team play. If it actually comes in, we're going to have to do something with team play. OMFL against the world. But I'm hyped. I think it looks good. I'm not real big into the socks have wrinkles and this guy's got his right armband, but overall I'm happy. It gives me something to look forward to going into next year.
D-Wayne, what'd you think about the trailer?
Yeah, he said it, and what he was talking about, because I know he's been saying this for like a month or so now that he really wanted the team play, so I just knew who they was going to be excited when they even mentioned that, because it does remind me a lot of FIFA and how much fun we have in FIFA, and the fact that, like I said, I think it's a Frostbite engine's going to run the next Madden. I'm super intrigued. I don't know if I'm scared by that but I'm like scared excited by that, because the FIFA soccer is so awesome, but some of the stuff the CPU players do in that really puzzles me, and I hope that part does not translate to Madden. But like I said, I'm excited. I was actually excited to see Tom Brady on the front. I want to see if Tom Brady can break the Madden curse personally, or maybe it'll curse him. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me that much. But I'm excited about it. And like I said, the player mode is kind of like the MLB The Show. That's my favorite part of the whole MLB The Show is the road to the show mode. I love it. And if they get somewhere close to that in the Madden game, then that would be awesome. I mean, you don't really need to sell me Madden much more. But like I said, that would completely sell me on it.
Yeah, just a couple of things I want to throw in there before we wrap it up. I do find it. I'm such an old timer. I don't feel old, and I don't think I'm old, but man, I've been doing this for 16 years. Back in the day, 2001 till 2003, probably, most leagues, including ours for sure, were a once a week advance league, and that is all that people could handle. And the rest of the time, we'd advance every Sunday, and the rest of the time people would do team pages and blogs and practice with their teams, and that kind of helped because back then you could export your team to play against other exported teams, so you could play guys in the league throughout the week to keep yourself busy and really build up. I think actual physical gameplay was better way back then because guys could play so much, and then the actual league games mattered more. Whereas now we play so many games so fast that if you get on a really bad roll there, that your season can be over pretty quickly. Whereas back in the day. So it's just funny to hear people say, oh man, we're a 3-day advanced league. I need something to do in between. That's just funny to me. But I will say, I think it's a neat idea, and I'm excited to see what it actually looks like. Now, they had 3v3 a couple of years ago, and we played with it. And I'm just going to give you my opinion, and that is it doesn't translate well. So in FIFA, playing as an individual translates well. You can play your position, the field spacing. In basketball, in baseball, you can be very individualistic and play as a player. And in football, just doesn't translate as well because there's not as much to do. Like all these other sports, you've got something that you can do. But if you're a receiver, and you only get 6 passes your way, that person gets bored. And if you're the running back and they're passing 50 times a game, now you're not doing anything but blocking. And so unless you're playing, I can see where guys got bored with it because it just doesn't, the concept sounds really awesome. It just doesn't translate well to Madden football, in my opinion. I'll play it. I'll be all in on it. We'll figure out what we can do here in the league as a community with it and have some fun with it. I just see it getting boring very quickly because, again, it's not like FIFA where there's always something to do. You're always waiting to make a play. In Madden, it just doesn't translate as well. But the new teaser looks really good. We'll see what everything looks like. No wrinkles in socks, says Houday, but give us everything else. I think it'll be really intriguing. If you haven't went back and listened to the Data League podcast that we did, please go and do that. Give us your support. Tweet it out. Just blast it out there. We just want to get more and more people to take notice. And you two guys, along with Chaotic or Colin or anybody on the board, you're always welcome to join me on those and give your input. So any last closing thoughts as we put a bow on today's show?
Yeah, I'm coming for you, JT. So, Ravens, you're on notice, bro. Week 17.
We got to talk about those Ravens. I almost did it today, but I want to talk about Colin. But next week, next podcast, next Press Pass Live, next weekend, we will talk about those Ravens. D. Wayne, closing thoughts, buddy.
Well, I love hearing that. I love hearing that competitiveness. He's going after the Ravens. That's going to be an intriguing one to watch the rest of the way out. Man, I'm just getting pumped about a lot of these playoff races. You have a lot of, last couple seasons we've had most of the division winners by week 10, 11, 12. They were pretty much, set. And we have, I want to say 6 or 7 divisions right now that are people. We got 2 or 3 teams fighting for each one in it, and I just love it. I love the diversity of the success. And I love seeing a lot of these teams, like I said, hadn't had a lot of success. They're fighting for their playoff chances right now.
But there you have it. That is week 7 through 10 here in the MFL. We're in week 10 now, so good luck with your games. A couple of really quick updates. It is the middle of May, and before you know it, we're going to be deep into the summer. Within the next month and a half, we're going to start looking to revamp the website, put out a new website. We're also going to be looking, Hude has kind of pushed me. It's something I've always wanted to do, but we're going to look at a way that we can have a one site fits all. So one site that you can go to that is the website, that is, you can get to the Daddy League site from there, and a place that includes the forums all in one. Now that's going to take some work, and it's going to take, of course, money. And so we will be doing another push for platinum ownerships for Madden 18. It takes money to run these leagues, and we've got really good people. All these guys on the board have donated. Chaotic has given a ton. I've given a lot of the extra money that I make from graphics and stuff like that to it. So if you guys are willing to help us invest into the community, it goes to a good use, and we're going to need that. So lots of fun stuff. The Golf League is on a little bit of a break, but the Dirty Dozen MLB League is going by well, and things are going good there. And the Coach Mode League is blowing and going, and lots of good stuff. So get plugged in, help us out. We need a couple of owners. Send us some really good people. So for Hude, man, it's good to have you back, my friend. I'm glad you're feeling better and talking. For D. Wayne, for all the leadership here in the OMFL and the Grown Folks online community, thank you guys for listening to the show. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Later, guys.
Second.